Hi, everyone. Today, I'm thrilled to be sitting down next to Tom Gordon, CEO and co founder of Slim Chickens. HVS Executive Search has had the pleasure of partnering with Slims several times over the years, placing many senior leadership executives at their company. It's really been a blast getting to know the culture and the brand of Slims. For those of you who don't know, though I'm sure at this point many of you do, Slim Chickens is one of the industry leaders in fast casual restaurants focusing on fresh chicken tenders and wings. And if you haven't tried it, you're missing out because personally, it's quickly become one of my favorite places to eat. Tom, it's been so fun to watch you guys build an incredible brand that really focuses on quality food. So I'm super excited to dive into the story behind y'all's success. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's get started.
Cool. Happy to be here. How about that?
All right, so Tom, what inspired the creation of Slim Chickens and how do you think its vision has evolved since its creation?
Well, I was really inspired by conversations that my co-founder and I, Greg Smart, had. He had seen some concepts that were kind of like this in the Southeast, and this was 25 years ago. And he called me. I was living in LA at the time, and he said, "No one's doing a concept like this in Northwest Arkansas, and no one's doing it right anyway." So he was doing retail, I was doing restaurants, and he said, "Look, let's just join forces and try to do this right and create the brand that we know we can create with these products."
Awesome. And aside from that, what do you think sets Slims apart from other fast casual quick service restaurants that are in the industry?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of things, right, that go into the magic recipe of why anything is successful. I think you have to have the food. I mean, that is the hero.
Yeah.
It's got to be great. It's got to be amazing, and people want to crave it. You got to want people to crave that product. If you got that, then you got a chance to build culture and marketing and the things that we like to talk about that make the brand DNA what it is. It's a cool chicken, it's a cool place, and we want it to be what I tell all franchisees all the time is it needs to be a cultural phenomenon, not just a restaurant. But the food's got to be there first. And so we build off the food, we build off that culture, and we want to be a cultural phenomenon and serve the guest and all the.
And culture is one of those things that I know that you guys, everyone that kind of knows the brand knows that, you guys really look for culture to kind of drive the brand. So what qualities do you look for in leaders and team members within the company?
Cultural fit is important, and we are certainly not perfect. But being able to work top to bottom with us as the executive team leaders, all the way down to restaurants. We try to have our people go in the restaurants twice a year. You work one shift in the back, one shift in the front every year.
Okay. Yeah.
And we want to make sure that we're connected to the stores. We talk about how the GM is the most important role in the company, more important than me or anybody else. A good GM of a restaurant.
Yeah.
And they drive the business. They are running the factories, and they're taking care of the guests that pay us the money. So I think the fit in the building and with the people is critically important. And like a lot of companies say, I think we work hard. We also play hard. We have fun. We do a lot of great community stuff and charitable giving, and we have a fun committee, and fun committee does all kinds of stuff here in the office, and it's great.
Well, that sounds like fun.
Well, the fun committee doesn't let me be on it. I'm not on. They don't allow me to be on the fun
They
committee.
had to kick you off. Great. So switching directions a bit, are you kind of able to discuss any recent innovations or changes in the menu or service model recently that have been successful?
That's a big question. We're running the Big Dill sandwich right now, which has been very successful. Fried pickles and regular pickles and a dill mayo on this sandwich. People are loving it. That's a new food innovation for us. But post-COVID, the digital channel for us continues to grow. We thought that third party would tamp it down a bit. It hasn't. It continues to grow. It's a big channel for us. The app continues to grow as a channel for us. And so we have to embrace, what's the next step with technology, with the app? Like, how do we improve our app? How do we make it easier? And we talk about a frictionless guest experience at the restaurants. We got to try to make it a frictionless guest experience on the app or online or on your computer. Those innovations that just make it easy to use the brand, I think, are what's important and what we try to do.
Gotcha. And as far as challenges, what are some of the biggest challenges recently your brand has faced, and kind of how did the company overcome or address them?
Yeah, I mean, we have had challenges every day for 21 years.
Yeah.
I think recently, poultry prices have been a problem the last 9 months. I mean, we can geek out on poultry science and talk about hatchability
Yeah.
problems that are going on right now and
Yeah.
how that impacts a supply-driven market versus a demand-driven market.
Yeah.
But those have been issues for sure. What we've seen also in our pipeline, and it's a direct correlation to raising interest rates, which you raise interest rates to try to slow down the economy. For us, some franchisees, not all, but some have said, "Hey, I want to wait a few months to do this next store," or I want to do a store kind of later next year versus this year because interest rates are expensive and construction's expensive, and those two things together make rents more than we want to pay. And we've managed to work with them and find ways to mitigate some of those slowdowns. And we're still do a lot of restaurants every year, but certainly just the economic situation here in the United States has made a difference in pipeline growth. Comp growth and traffic growth has been good for us, and we'll continue to do well the rest of the year.
And I know you said that the app and third party delivery has been extremely successful with Slim's, but with that also comes customer feedback. So how have you tried to gather and incorporate customer feedback back into the business?
Yeah, we do a lot of channels. I mean, we do direct customer feedback from the app, any app orders,
Okay.
direct customer feedback. We also use various third parties to gather feedback and intelligence inside the restaurants, on the receipts, third party online. We also utilize a service to scrape the entire internet for comments about Slim Chickens. We aggregate those. And I think we have a very robust group in our technology department that kind of works closely with marketing to track consumer sentiment.
Yeah. And as far as upcoming markets or regions, I know you guys are growing pretty rapidly, but are there any specific markets or regions that you're excited about entering?
Well, we're excited to enter every new market because products are new to that entire market.
Yeah.
But you think the regions that are busy. I mean, the Intermountain West is very busy and doing great. Middle South, Tennessee, Carolinas are very busy. Florida's busy. And our international business has been great, been very busy. We have 56 restaurants in the UK now. I was just in Berlin for the first one in Germany, and we'll do more of that in the coming years.
So is that the newest market you've entered, you think?
Germany is the newest one.
Okay.
Yeah. It's 2 weeks old, I think, as of tomorrow.
Happy birthday. So Tom, everyone knows that, knows you and the brand, that you and Greg Smart built this thing from the ground up. So what do you think, since its creation has been kind of the most rewarding aspect of building the brand?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of rewarding aspects, I think, for any entrepreneur and leader. I mean, seeing, franchisees succeed is awesome. I love it. It's the most rewarding thing to see franchisees succeed in the business. Not the most. Equally so is seeing our team here in Northwest Arkansas and around the country succeed, and grab hold of something that they really believe in. We talk a lot about, when you're in this office and you work here, I want you to say, this is my building, this is my company, this is my office, because we want success to belong to everyone, to all of our people, all of our teams, all of our franchisees. I mean, this is our collective brand, and even though I started it with Greg 21 years ago, it takes everybody to make it go. And for that reason, it belongs to everybody.
Yeah. Well, and it's so clear being a founder-led organization, just the passion that comes through. Anyone that knows the brand can see it. So, it's super inspiring. Last question. Are there any mentors or leaders who have kind of influenced your success or how you run your company?
I mean, I think that everybody I've ever interacted with that gave me any nugget of information has been an influence on me. I've gotten to know some leaders in the industry that have been very helpful and inspirational to me. I've got a good example is one of our real estate directors, a guy named Bill Piarchi. I've known him since I had 3 stores, and he now works with us now, and he's been a mentor and inspiration for me. Great real estate developer guy. I had the chance to talk to him, and he now works with us now, and he's been a mentor and inspiration for me. Great real estate developer guy. I had the chance to talk a few times to Charles Schultz from Starbucks. inspirational leader, and I admire what he's done with his organization and the digital technology and how they roll out stores. But there are just so very many of them. I got a chance once to sit with a guy named Ralph Mason who owned, I think, 300 or 400 Sonics at the time. I think I had 3 restaurants.
Wow.
And I sat with him at lunch, and I asked him, I said, "So how'd you do it? I want to be like you. I want 300 restaurants." And he looked at me and he goes, "Well, Tom," and I'm like, I'm about to catch the answer right here. And he goes, "One store at a time."
And you had 3 at the time.
And I had 3.
Yeah.
And I still think about that. And I tell that story a lot because it's the truth. They all got to work, and you got to make them work one at a time.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome. Okay, bonus question, because I've always wondered, how did you guys think of the name Slim Chickens?
Greg and I could not come up with a name, and my mother called me and said, the name should be Slim Chickens.
How'd she think of it? Because it rhymes?
I don't know, really.
I was thinking that the other day. I was like, I wonder.
I don't know. I mean, I was driving. I was right by the Ozark exit, and she called me, and I'm like, oh, that's it. No reason to continue the discussion.
Wow.
I called Greg. He goes, yep, sounds good to me. Off we go.
Clearly, she knew what she was talking about. So, great. Well, Tom, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat and share the story behind Slim Chickens. Hearing how the brand has grown and your vision for what's next is super exciting. So, to everyone watching, I hope you enjoyed getting a behind-the-scenes look at Slim Chickens and what makes it really just such a standout. So, if you haven't already, definitely check it out. I promise you won't be disappointed. Thanks, everyone.